Trauma comes to school. Sad Seema's story. Seema is a 10-year-old girl in grade 5. Her father suddenly died of a heart attack. She rejoined school within a few days after his death. However, she spends most of the day crying uncontrollably, does not talk to anyone or play with her classmates any longer. She says she has tried to learn the new poem and 12 times tables, but she keeps forgetting what she learned. Her grades are also falling. She barely passed the midterm tests. She also had a couple of episodes in which she peed and passed stools in her seat. That was very embarrassing as some of her classmates laughed at her. And one of the teachers said, "How can such a big girl not know when to go to the toilet?" When the class was asked to bring some color pencils to school on Fridays for art class, Seema kept saying that she forgot. The art teacher said it was impossible to keep on forgetting to bring the pencils each week. Seema remained silent and just looked sad. Some days she brings no tiffin to school, saying that her mother did not make any food. Seema's mother is devastated and has little family support. She also has a young child, Seema's sibling, to manage. She is grieving for her husband and is anxious about the family's finances. How do we understand Seema's emotions and behaviors at school? Let us try to understand how Seema's father's death has affected her and how she's doing so poorly in school because of this. When Seema's father died suddenly, she, like the rest of her family, was shocked and grieving. Possibly she loved him very much and was devastated about losing him. She may not have had anyone to talk to about how sad she is, how much she misses him, all the things she remembers every day about who he was and activities that he did with her, how she thinks about him all the time and wishes he was still with her. Or to answer the many questions that she might have about her father's death, like, why did this happen? What will happen to our family? Who will help us now? What if we don't have enough money now that daddy's not there? What if mummy also falls sick and dies? What would happen to my sister and me? Her mother is trying to look after things at home, take care of her sibling, and support the family financially. She is not only busy and anxious, but also coping with the grief of losing her husband. Perhaps on some days her mother is so sad, worried and tired that she is not able to make Seema's tiffin and see to her needs for school. So she has probably had little time for Seema, not realizing that Seema has lost a father and needs a lot more love and support than usual. As a result of her own sadness and unanswered questions, as well as her mother's grief and worry, Seema is constantly anxious. Her anxiety has become so overwhelming that she finds it difficult to control both her worry and sadness in school. The complete loss of control she feels with regard to her situation is manifested in two ways: constant crying, inability at times to control her toileting needs. Her crippling sadness and anxiety make it difficult for her to pay attention to what is taught in class or to learn and remember new material. Criticism from teachers and laughter from the other students makes her feel ashamed and humiliated, which only adds to her feelings of anxiety. How can you, as Seema's teacher, help her? Begin by validating Seema's experience of loss and feelings of sadness. You could say, Seema, I understand how sad you must be about your father. I'm sure you loved him a lot and that he loved you too. It is really difficult to lose the people we love, and when that happens suddenly, we are not prepared. So it must have also been a great shock for you. At such times, it is not easy to continue to do the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. I notice, for instance, that you do not seem to feel like playing with your friends at school, and that it is hard for you to concentrate in class when the teacher is teaching. These are things we struggle with when we are stressed. And I know that you are trying to do your best in these difficult times. So it's quite all right to take your time, do what you can until you feel better. I am here for you in case you need anything or if you wish to talk. It sometimes helps just to be with someone when we are sad. This will help Seema feel that someone understands the difficult experience and emotions that she is currently living through, that there is someone who cares about her well-being, that she's not invisible or just another student in a classroom. Then you could acknowledge her worries and anxieties. You could say, you are very much affected by the loss of your father, and just like you, your mother and sister are also perhaps sad and struggling to cope with his loss. Remember, I told you that you need some time to feel better? Mommy also needs some time to feel better and think about different things that she needs to do at home. I guess she's trying to sort out how to manage things in the absence of your father and work out household stuff, money, and other things. This may take some time. Meanwhile, I think she might be worried and anxious, and that is probably making you feel worried and anxious too. If it's all right with you, may I ask her to come to school and speak with me? Maybe I can try to understand in what ways she needs help and think of ways we can also support her. This will provide her with some perspective in a gentle, reassuring way that her mother is not uncaring or unloving of her, but that she is dealing with her grief and worries too. It will also help Seema feel relieved that there are others to help her mother through her difficulties. Develop a buddy system. Identify a classmate who you know to be friendly and empathic. Ask Seema for suggestions too on who she might be comfortable with or who she likes and trusts in class. With Seema's permission, speak to the identified classmate, preferably in the presence of Seema, requesting her to take care of Seema for a few weeks. You could say, we all have a hard time once in a while at school or at home, and at such times we all need some help. We especially need a good friend. Seema is not having an easy time recently. I was wondering whether you could be a friend to her and just look out for her, like sit next to her in class and help her a bit with her studies in case she needs it. Make sure she eats her lunch. Include her in your games during playtime. I am sure Seema will gradually feel better in some days. In the meanwhile, I would really appreciate your support if you're willing. Thank you so much for your kindness to Seema and your help to me. Such peer support and friendship will give Seema a sense of belonging, help her feel less isolated and more included in school activities, which in turn will distract her mind at least for short periods of time from her loss and bereavement experiences and feelings. Involve other teachers in assistance. Identify some of the other teachers who teach Seema specific subjects and let them know that she has had a loss and bereavement experience. Let them know that things are hard for her at home so that they understand her feelings of sadness and anxiety, that she might have trouble focusing on classroom tasks, not to expect her to do homework and other classroom tasks like she may have done before the traumatic life event. Request them to help Seema with classwork, to pay her extra attention during the course of the class, and help her with learning. Gently remind them that it might be best not to single Seema out for either overt sympathy or criticism, as both extremes might be embarrassing and unhelpful to her at this point in time. This will give Seema time to grieve and process her emotions without being judged, shamed, or humiliated in school. Showing her such understanding will also reassure her that she has other support networks at school and she can depend on them despite her family situation being difficult. Create a space for listening and expression of emotions. Although we know that teachers have very busy schedules and high workloads, it would be helpful for you to make some one-on-one time for Seema. Even half an hour a week would suffice. Ask Seema to see you in a quiet space, preferably after school. Ask her to show you a picture of her father or draw one of him. Allow her, if she feels like, to tell you about his death, what happened at the time, who was there, her feelings of sadness, shock, and confusion. Then ask her to tell you all about him, what he was like, what special activities she and he had done together, things she loved most about him. Tell her what a lot of wonderful memories you have of your dad. Even if he's physically no longer with you, he is still with you in so many ways and will always be. I am sure that he continues to love you wherever he is and knows how much you love him. I am sure that he is also happy that you think of him and remember him as you do. In this way, you would create a space for Seema to grieve for her father as well as celebrate the person he was, helping her hold on to her memories of him as opposed to her only feeling that he is gone and that he will never be there for her. Encourage and appreciate. Involve Seema in day-to-day tasks in the classroom. For example, ask her to help you with carrying books or erasing the blackboard. Make sure to thank her for her help. Invite her to participate in non-academic school activities such as art and craft work, singing, dancing, anything that she would be interested in doing. Appreciate her interests and talent. Involving Seema thus in various classroom tasks and activities will help her occupy her mind with things other than her sadness and worries and enable her to also interact more with her peers. Such activities will also help her gradually return to her daily routine and schoolwork which she had erstwhile stopped engaging in. Remember, experiences of grief and bereavement are enormously traumatic for children and can adversely affect children's socio-emotional well-being and cognitive and learning capacities. While such traumatic experiences may have occurred in children's home or family context, their impacts are very much felt in the classroom. So it is important for schools and teachers to address grief and bereavement. Often, they are the only support and safety networks available to children at times when families are unable to function in optimal ways.